My name is Molly Caldwell. I've been at Shepherd's Gate for 7.5 months, and I have been in the Bay Area my whole life. I was living in San Ramon my first 20 years. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my father was a Alameda County Sheriff's deputy. When I was about 9.5, my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer. He was given 6 months, but he passed away in 3. He actually passed away 1 week before my 10th birthday, and I was incredibly close with my father. So losing him, it really changed everything in my life. With my mother, I really took out my grief on her. I guess she was my safest person, so I kind of blamed her indirectly for what had happened. Once when I turned 15, I was in high school. There were so many changes. My depression just grew out of control. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, as well as ADD. Later high school, I never broke the rules. I never, smoked or went to parties or drank. But towards the end, I did get curious, so I would start to smoke weed and drink with my friends. I actually graduated with a 3.6 GPA, which I'm very proud of. I think my mother, just out of anger and disappointment, she told me to leave. And he was my first relationship. I hid it from my older sister, which I've never hid anything from her. He was my first secret from her, and she knew something was up. And we were in a very small, it was a 2-car garage turned into an apartment. There was no ventilation, no windows, no nothing. I did not know it, but the night that he had asked me to move in with him, he actually had put his child's mother into a coma. He smashed her head on the concrete. He took her to Eden Hospital and just dropped her off in the driveway of the ER and drove away. And then he called me and said that he wanted me to move in with him. He originally told me that she ran away with her boyfriend and wanted nothing to do with their child. So I felt bad for the situation because I knew what it was like to not have a parent. Yeah, I would just catch him doing things like that, but it never was a red flag. It just hurt, but I was never like, oh, this is a terrible relationship. What am I doing? Because at the end of the day, he was sorry. He didn't mean it. He still loved me. So he broke my laptop and then he broke my phone. And I remember this was the first time that he legitimately beat me. I could not get out of bed. And I remember begging him, I was like, I need something to take away the pain. So he came back with some random pain pills and meth. And this began a cycle of beating me so he could smoke meth with me. He would beat me to the point that I couldn't move or get up. Um, and then he'd bring in meth as an, you know, to fix it. And all of a sudden, I don't feel well. And I told him, I was like, I think something's up. And I take the test and I'm pregnant. And I found out I was not drinking coffee, not drinking soda. I was eating as healthy as possible. I was reading everything that there was. But he was still abusive. My boss took one look at me when I got to work and he said, "You need to go home, you need to go rest." So I did. At this point, I started to I stopped caring, um, stopped trying to do the right thing, wasn't eating right. And then I gave birth. I never really viewed what he was doing as rape, because he was my boyfriend. And just kind of acted like it didn't happen. My aunt actually lived right behind Shepherd's Gate, and she's the one that told me, "You need to call Shepherd's Gate." And within a day, Alicia, the director, actually emailed me back. She was the first person that validated what I was going through was not okay. Pulled out a knife, and I remember him holding it to my neck, and he said, "If you keep on the phone, like, if he was like, if you keep talking to her, um, I will kill you." Talking, I just remember I told her I can't go, and she told me it's okay. I may not be strong enough to go today, but that doesn't mean that I won't be in the future. And like, just with that, she gave me hope. Knowing that someone really believed that I could do it, it led me to believe that I could too. Emailed Alicia. She's like, "I'm gonna come get you." Um, and she gave me the time frame. I had everything ready. And yeah, that was my last time seeing him. I can't even describe it. Like, this place has changed my life. My son was diagnosed with autism. That wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Shepherd's Gate. I wasn't even allowed to take my son to a park before then, let alone a doctor. The fact that here he's had everything he could need and more. I'm excited for Noah. He's already started speech therapy here. He's a member of the regional center. So he's in speech therapy, occupational therapy, IDS therapy, as well as they're looking for his ABA specialist. I'm so excited for him to grow into the little man that he is. Like, it's just gonna be great. My mom and I have a relationship today. I got to meet all my nieces and nephew. I got to spend time with them, and I'm about to graduate, and I do not want to leave. Yeah, Shepherd's Gate definitely changed my life, and I'm very grateful. To everybody that has made this possible, thank you, because I wouldn't have made it out of where I was. Like, never. And because you listen to the Lord and you're a faithful servant, there's so many people that benefit from everything you do. I owe everything that my son is, grown into to Shepherd's Gate and to everyone that makes it possible. So thank you.